What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at this knife. This is the Winterblade Co. Severn. This is a new knife by Winterblade Co. as of 2024, and it is almost as impressive, if not more impressive, than the Factor that he came out with. This thing is amazing. If you know Brian Winters, then you know he's kind of a wizard. He makes incredible knives, and his stuff is very unique. You can definitely tell it's his when you see it. I mean, just look at this thing. You could definitely tell this is a Brian Winters Winterblade knife from Brian Winters. I encourage you to go check out his Instagram. He makes really cool mechanisms, really cool designs, and his stuff is always super interesting and unique. His innovative locking design, locking mechanisms, and stuff. It's really cool. He came out with the Factor originally, which I have. I love the Factor. And with the ting, listen to that. Love that sound. But yeah, he came out with the Factor. This is a batch one. I still have. Absolutely amazing. And everybody loved it because it had the magnets. It operated using a magnet lock where it would engage with a magnet on the tang of the blade, and the magnet would also hold the blade closed. So really, really cool by him that he did this one. And he also, this was his second design that was production model. These are both made by Bestech, I believe that is who OEM'd these. And so this is the second design that he came out with, the Severn, and it's really cool. It's bigger. We'll do a quick size comparison just because they're both out here. It is bigger. If you have a Factor, then you can tell, there you go, just how big it actually is. It is bigger. It definitely has, let's see, just a little tiny touch more cutting edge. Sorry, the Factor's trying to magnetize to the Severn. Yeah, so as you can see here, just like maybe an eighth of an inch, a little bit more than an eighth of an inch, more cutting edge, and or maybe a half an inch, eighth of an inch of cutting edge, quarter inch cutting edge, somewhere in there, a little bit more. And then you can see here the handle is also much longer as well. So it's kind of like a big Factor. He did just release a larger Factor, so same kind of style lock and stuff, but this is different because it operates on a different style lock. This is, I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically a combination of a crossbar lock and a shark lock kind of a style from Demco. Kind of similar how it operates. It's not the same style lock. I mean, same style lock, but it's not the same, you know, it doesn't work the same at all. It's its own kind of mechanism that he created. His stuff is always really bizarre. I absolutely love his designs, but he creates these things and they're just the coolest different, you know, kind of mechanisms. This thing's really nice. It's a crossbar lock and it's got this little tab up here. There's a spring kind of mechanism in the middle that allows them to be pushed forward, and you can disengage it using, you know, the crossbar here, which engages with the blade, or you can pull back on this little tab, which is also part of the same mechanism. You can see it as I pull up and back, it pulls the bar. It's not really bar, it's kind of like one whole piece, but it disengages it altogether, so you can also use that if you want. You can do it with your thumb, or your index finger. You can open it and close it like that. It is a little bit harder to do just because it doesn't stick out a lot, but it does have a lot of jimping. And I tell you what, I can absolutely open and close it reliably with that top little fin kind of thing sticking out up there. So really cool. I absolutely love how Winterblade Co., how Brian Winters makes all his knives super solid. I mean, you'd think with these designs, you know, it's a little bit of a weird lock. You don't know if it would be completely solid and everything. These are solid. I have had no blade play in any of my Factors that I've had, and no blade play in this one either, the Severn. It's been completely solid the whole time I've had it, completely solid up, down, left, right, and it's had excellent centering, perfect centering. I mean, just really, really good, while also being, you know, completely drop shot. I mean, you pull that back, it just drops. I mean, it feels great. It absolutely, and the reverse flick on this is like great. I mean, that's all you could ask for in a reverse flick. It's like perfect because it's got this big hole out here that you stick your middle finger in and just reverse flick it. It feels great. So really good. I like the black on white. This is one of the cheaper options that he offered from the factory. He made a bunch in titanium, but this one is the white G10 with the 14C28N blade. So a little bit of a cheaper budget steel. Still really great stuff, super tough, stain resistant, good stuff. And says Winterblade there. And then a nice pocket clip, works pretty well. And then on this side, I believe it says, yes, oh, you can tell here, it says Severn right right there. I don't know if you can see it in the shadow there. It says Severn right there in the G10, which is, I think, a really good touch. He doesn't it's not overstated. He doesn't, billboard his logo and brand all over the place. It just says Winterblade there, which is a little bit big, but it's nice. And then on this side, he put Severn right there on the handle. So looks really, really good. Definitely cool. I like these two little lines on the pivot. Gives it a little bit of a, interesting pop. And also these cutouts. It's a very comfy knife. Everything fits well in the hand. No sharp edges, no hot spots or anything. The blade is very sharp. Should have said that. Blade is very sharp indeed. Kind of this massive choil thing up here. I think that's so the lock can work. I'm not sure exactly. I think, it's so the lock, so it can get on behind the lock when it's closed. But it's definitely a very comfy knife. Kind of melts in your hand a little bit. A little bit interesting how he decided to make it slope up kind of before, like right here, it kind of like slopes up while your fingers are still running off the end. But it still fits really well. Not really any hot spots at all. It still feels very nicely rounded. Just an excellent, nice knife. Excellent knife. Very well designed. One interesting thing about this is it's thumb studs, and it also has the big hole here in the blade. What's interesting is this is a one-sided thumb stud, except that it's not, because if you push on this side and pop here, let me try and do it closed. You push on this side and you pop this up, you can actually pull out the thumb stud, this tube thing, and then this is a magnet. And what you can do with this is you can just move it to the other side of the blade and pop it in on this side. And then you have, this is really cool, you have a left-sided thumb stud. So it's either way, it's ambidextrous, really, really cool. I believe the clip can mount it as well on the other side. So this really is an ambidextrous design, which is really, really awesome. And then you can even use that to reverse flick if you have it on that side as well, which is really, really cool. Just an awesome, kind of like, he didn't have to do that, but it's really cool that he added that extra touch to make it even that more interesting, that it has this really interesting design of a thumb stud. Let me see if I can pop it back out, put it back on the front side. It's a little bit hard because you got to push on this side and then pop it out. There you go. Pop it out like that. And then this is just a simple magnet. Moves to the other side. And it's an excellent coating. It hasn't scratched up at all. So very nice. And then just pop this through on this side. Just like that. So pretty simple, pretty easy. Let's do some size comparisons. I already compared it to the Factor, but I'd like to compare it to some other ones. So this is the Paramilitary 2 and the Para 3. The handle to blade ratio, blade to handle ratio, is a little bit more like Spyderco's, as you can tell. There's less blade and more handle. Kind of like, it reminds me of a PM2 or a Para 3. Kind of similar. Of course, this is doing its own thing. Definitely completely different, but, similar ratios there. And then I'd also like to compare it to Benchmade Bugout and the QSP Penguin. Let's see, both black and white. It's kind of cool. So there you go. So it's a little bit bigger of a knife, but not too big. Definitely not like large in any way. I'd consider an average size knife. And then I'll also compare it to the ZT-0308. And I'll compare it one last time to the Factor. Love the Factor. Still my favorite. I still prefer the Factor over it. Just the ting and the locking system and the clickiness to it just does it for me. So Factor is still a little bit my favorite. A little bit more than the Severn. But as you can see there, it's kind of right in the middle between those two. So definitely smaller than the 308. So, and then one last thing I will do is I will take the weight on this. As you can see here, there's no backspacer. It's just one pin on the back, one standoff on the back, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it's very like see-through. There's not much there. It's a flow through construction. There's not, you could clean it out really easily if you wanted to. So pretty cool. Let's weigh this. It's about 3.8. Well, we're moving 3.8 ounces. So under 4 ounces. Definitely really nice for, a normal EDC knife. It's not going to be too heavy in the pocket. You'll feel it, but it won't be too heavy at all. And it is very tall, you know, as you can see here. I mean, the Para 3 it's almost as tall as a Para 3, which it isn't too bad because a lot of people like carrying the Para 3. So, but it's a really good knife. Highly recommend it. You reverse blade with left hand. It's very simple to operate, manipulate. What acts as the detent feels really snappy, especially with the thumb studs. This feels great. I mean, this feels amazing. So, highly recommend taking a look and checking out Winterblade Co. Severn, or any of Winterblade Co.'s knives. His stuff is just super innovative, super interesting, and always top tier, high quality stuff. So that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what if you have any Winterblade Co. knives. And that's it for this one. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye.